Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today for this pick a card reading. This reading is going to address what your spirit guides want you to know right now at this time. So we have 4 piles to choose from using the Prisma Visions Oracle deck, mini Oracle deck. I've selected 4 piles. The first pile is the Aqua Aura Quartz, and also like a pink Aura Quartz. And then we have a K2 Palm Stone. We have a Smokey Quartz double terminated crystal and a Lapis Lazuli Palm Stone. Check the description for timestamps, and let's get started with pile 1. Okay, the cards that you got for pile 1, you got the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, and the Peacock. So what I'm seeing with this energy is that for many of you, you could have recently experienced a heartbreak, a loss, a disappointment, a heartbreak, definitely, a major injury, emotional injury. And for many of you, it could have resulted from an argument where there were a lot of really hurtful words and painful words. With the 3 of Wands out here, for many of you, it could be that the person that you were arguing with, that they wanted to expand their horizons in a way that didn't really involve you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for some people, it could be like infidelity. For other people, it could be, where you're in a relationship with somebody and they want to move for work and you don't want to go. And having a disagreement. It could be, if you're married, it could be married couples disagreeing about where to live, or goals, different goals in life, traveling. And then the Peacock card that came out, number 3, the Peacock. So the Peacock to me represents somebody who is very concerned about appearances and looks and, that luxurious lifestyle. And so for some of you, this could be the person that you got into an argument with where, they want to move in a certain direction because of, how it looks to live in a certain neighborhood, or to even live in a certain town, a certain zip code type of situation. Affluence is what I feel like saying, affluence. For some of you, this card represents, if there was infidelity, it could be that this person who was unfaithful is that they were very superficial and they put too much importance on looks and appearances as well. So there's that. Okay, let's see here for your tarot cards. All right, group number 1, spirit guides and guardian angels of the people watching for group number 1. What do you need them to know right now about this situation? 4 cards, please. What do you need for them to know right now about this situation? Okay. 2 cards. 10 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. 2 more cards, please. Oh, these 2 just flipped right over. Queen of Cups, 6 of Wands. Okay. Your spirit guides are recognizing the struggle that you're dealing with right now. For many of you, this argument and this heartbreak or loss is going to result in you having to handle a lot more by yourself than you used to. Yes. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing with this card. For many of you, if this person is no longer in your life to help you out for whatever reason, you know, I'm hearing shouldering the burden. So they recognize how difficult it's been, and not just like with having to work harder to keep everything together, but then also the emotional aspect of going through such an experience, you know, and having this type of a disagreement or an argument. And then we got the Two of Pentacles. Again, this is just reinforcing that Ten of Wands energy of needing to balance and prioritize. Remain flexible. Don't be too rigid. Just go with the flow. Do the best that you can. It also does represent the need to balance your finances and, you know, to prioritize your spending, because like for many of you, if this is a situation where, you know, let's say if you're a married couple and your partner wants to move to another state, you know, they have a plan, but you don't have a plan. And so, you know, and you may have to shoulder more of the burden in preparation. You know, if they're leaving before you, then you're left behind to, you know, just tie up all the loose ends and things like that. And so you're on your own in that area with like having to move and having to pack, and you know, I'm seeing that type of a situation. And then of course, you know, if they move for a new job and then you're having to maybe leave where you're working or whatever you were doing to earn a living, you have to put it on hold, possibly go on vacation or whatever, to be able to pack and handle all the loose ends and stuff like that. You know, so therefore you're not making as much money. You have to, you know, balance your finances with the family and everything, and prioritize spending, and, you know, and moving can be expensive. So there's one thing that I'm seeing. With another situation, if, you know, there was a breakup because somebody was unfaithful, and this could be somebody who was supporting you financially, contributing to the household expenses, even if they didn't live there, or just other perks and benefits of the relationship are no longer there. I heard household again. So having to deal with that, those financial impacts and ramifications, and as well as, you know, just being super busy and having more to do on your own and not receiving help because of whatever situation was happening here. And this could also be vice versa. You know, if you pick this card and you were the one that wants to move, or you're the one that was moving on and, you know, exploring your options when it comes to relationships or romantic relationship, you know, then the other person that you're dealing with is going through this. And so you also got the Queen of Cups here. So for many of you, this is staying heart-centered. It's staying heart-centered, using your intuition, your intuitive abilities, to guide you through this time right now. That will really help. For those of you that have children, you can focus on your children and connect with your family members and loved ones. So that's what I'm seeing with that. And then the Six of Wands. It's interesting because in this deck, it looks like the Six of Swords in the traditional tarot with the boat and the wands standing up, but it's the Six of Wands. So it does represent victory. and recognition. So this is that peacock energy. So for many of you, this peacock person, the one who is more concerned with appearances, whoever that was in this situation, you know, it's like that's going to continue, basically. That will continue. Sorry, I'm getting like several different stories. So, all right, so yes, for that person, they're still going to want to get a lot of attention from people. And so, okay, so let's say for one of the situations, for some of you, if the person was unfaithful, and they're just like, you know, kind of narcissistic, self-centered, you know, too much importance on material things and looks and things like that. This person's not going to change how they are, okay? So it's like you won because they're no longer in your life. You are actually victorious because they're no longer there. Because they're not going to change who they are. So the Six of Wands has a double meaning. You know, it's like reinforcing that energy. They're going to continue to stay in that energy where they need to constantly have all the attention and have all eyes on them. And a lot of it could have even to do with like social media and posting on social media and social media influencing and things like that. And so you were actually victorious in this situation. Okay, so for others, for other people, you will receive recognition, honor, I'm hearing honor, and trust by focusing on your loved ones at this time. And it's going to take you like on a whole new trajectory. Focusing on your children, focusing on your parents, and other, you know, people that are near and dear to you. That's going to lead to, it's going to open up some doors for you somehow. I'm not sure exactly, it's going to be different for everybody, but I am seeing that it's going to open up some doors for you, leading to opportunities is what I'm getting. And then, and for other people, you know, if you're like in a relationship and your spouse is moving for their job and you're the one who's left behind, you know, having to take care of the kids and wrap up all the loose ends, like you might have to stay behind to finish out the school year, that type of thing, while the partner goes on and, you know, it gets established in this new location and starts the new job and everything. Basically, by you being able to handle and get through this situation, that's going to be a victory. That you will be victorious in that scenario because it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off in the long run for the family, is what I'm getting. So, you know, it could have been a huge disagreement, but it does look like by you bucking up, I'm hearing bucking up and dealing with the situation with the Ten of Wands here, you know, you're going to be victorious. You're going to get recognition for handling all of the business is what I'm getting. So I hope that made sense, and I hope you found that helpful. Thank you all so much for watching. If this pile did not resonate with you, please feel free to check out the other piles. Also, I would like to let you know that I will never reach out to you to offer you a reading. I do accept personal private readings, but I will never reach out to you. You must contact me, and you can get a link to my website in the description. All right, pile 2 is the K2 Palm Stone. Let's see what we got here. You got 8 of Cups, the Karma card in the reverse, and Ace of Cups. Okay, just shuffling the deck to this energy here. All right, what I'm seeing for this is you recently found yourself in a situation where you're questioning whether or not your 10 of Cups is someplace else instead of, you know, whether basically the direction that you're going in your life is leading you towards a 10 of Cups. For many of you, it could be that you've been in a romantic relationship and you don't know if this, you know, if this relationship is really the type of relationship that is going to bring you, you know, emotional fulfillment and love, the kind to the level that you really hope to achieve in your life. And it could be like, for many of you, it's just you've been dating for a short period of time, and, you know, you're seeing how things are going to go and being open, you know, to the possibility, but you're not so sure that it's leading in the direction that you want it to go. And then for many of you, you could have been with this person for a long time. You could be married to this person even. And it's the same type of energy where you're not sure if, you know, you're really growing together instead of, you know, you're kind of thinking maybe that you're growing apart type of thing. So is what I'm seeing with this 8 of Cups card. This could also be, for many of you, if you're not in a romantic relationship, this could also be friendships, because we don't always grow with our friends. Okay, like sometimes you're best friends all through school, and then you get up, or you grow up and you get a job and you have kids and you just don't hang in the same circles anymore, you know, and things like that. And so, or just the direction that life goes, you know, sometimes you start to grow apart from your friends. So this could be that type of situation too. So there's basically somebody in your life, it could also be a family member, somebody that you're like a close relative, like a brother, sister, or a cousin, where, you know, like you spend a lot of time with this person, but you're just starting to question. You're like, I think I'm growing apart from this person, right? Okay. And then you got the Karma card in the reverse, which is number 11. In the traditional tarot deck, this would be the Justice card. And so for some of you all, I'm seeing that basically it's going in that direction because that person does not appreciate you. They don't recognize your value. You don't feel appreciated. You don't feel like they recognize your value. You don't feel like they're being fair. You don't feel like they're giving you credit. Things like that. It could be just feeling like, you know, unloved, unfulfilled, unrecognized, unseen, unheard. You know, you're starting to, for some of you, you're starting to even like think to yourself, because like the relationship's gotten to a point, if you've been together for a really long time, and this could also be like relatives and family members, where you're You're like, what the hell did I do to deserve this? You're like, damn, I must have done some really bad things to like have to deal with people like this in my life. Like, you know, and you are starting to feel like there's just a very deep feeling of unfairness is what I'm feeling with this card, and lack of justice. For some people, like I did see with some people, their friends are involved in maybe illegal stuff. You know, your friends are involved in illegal things, and you don't want to live your life like that anymore, you know, or just whatever they're doing, you don't feel like is in alignment with the direction that you want your life to go. It might not even be that they're doing illegal things, but it could be their political views, for example. Basically, like it just feels wrong or bad. Something that they're into feels wrong or bad. For many of you, it could be like this person's on drugs or substances, and they're having legal problems because of that, or even just legal problems in general, because of whatever they're involved in, like pettiness. I'm hearing escaping penalties. Escaping penalties. That may mean something to some of you. So that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, and then with the Ace of Cups, this is like you wondering, for many of you, this is wondering like, will we ever be the way we were before? You know, like with your friendships and stuff like that. You're like, are we ever going to feel the way we used to feel when we were kids, and that carefree, fun feeling that we used to have when we hung out together? For married couples, you know, it's going to be, you're thinking like, are we ever going to be where we used to be? Is there hope for our relationship to, you know, rekindle the romance and the love? And then for others of you, if you're single and the person that you're seeing or dating, you know, there's hope. There's hope for you that you will still find the new love, and you know, that could potentially lead you to your 10 of Cups. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. And many of you, like with the friendships and everything, you know, that you will have other friends, other interpersonal relationships that you find valuable. Okay. All right. Clarifier cards, please, for group 2, pile 2, 4 cards, please. Okay. All right. The Death card came out in the reverse. All right. 3 more cards. Group 2, pile 2, clarifier cards. 5 of Wands. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards, please. Group 2, pile 2, clarifier cards. Group 2, pile 2, clarifier cards. Please, 2 more cards. What do they need to know right now? Spirit guides. What does group 2, pile 2, the Justice card, and the Sun card, and the 10 of Cups came out? We will take it. Okay? All right. So, okay. For many of you, with the Death card in reverse, for many of you, it is actually encouraging you not to give up on this situation. You know, yeah, for many of you, it's encouraging you not to give up on this situation. And I'll explain that later through these other cards. For many of you, this Death card in reverse is indicating something that has been over for a very long time, but you have resisted bringing it to an ending, or to, you know, to a final ending. And it's just like, it's been dead for a long time, and it's just, you know, It's just still kind of like a zombie or something like that, where it's just not quite dead yet, even though it's just been it's dying. It's been dying with that death card in reverse. So, you know, some people, it is encouraging you all to have or to not let it die. And then other people, other groups of you, this card is indicating that it has been long dead, or dying for a very long time. Okay, so the Five of Wands coming out here. This card indicates for many of you there is competition, like other people that you have to worry about, other people who are competing with your position. For some of the singles out there, there's competition. The person that you're talking to has been, I don't want to say entertaining, but knows that they have other options. And they're kind of, that's why they haven't been, you know, giving you the attention that you deserve, is because they're still not sure if they want to, you know, invest all their energy into just one person, basically. So there's that. For some of you, I do see that there have been a lot of conflicts and struggles, fighting, like actual, could even be actual physical fighting, you know, physical fighting, arguments, battles, petty behavior, you know, to the point with the karma in the reverse card, like how I said, some of you guys are even questioning, like, what the heck did I do to deserve being treated this way? That's this card, Five of Wands, showing up right here. And, you know, your guides are recognizing that, that you've had to go through a lot with this person in this situation. For some of you, I'm feeling like if it comes to family members or children, this situation is calling you to fight. Of course, with some family members, it's just toxic, and, you know, and it's just not getting better. But with other family members, possibly your more vulnerable relatives, it could be like parents, if there are siblings fighting over parents, or fighting with your parents, maybe because they're making poor choices, things like that. But for some of you, it's different for everybody, but for some of you, this actually does call for you to fight. And with the Justice card, you know, with the Justice card, you may even have to get the law involved. And like I said earlier too, like for some of you, if you find that you're growing away from each other, because maybe what, you know, stuff that they're involved in, it could even be illegal, like I said. And you don't want to be involved in something like that, right? You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to get in legal trouble. So for some of you, that is a very real possibility. Like you could actually get into legal trouble by associating with somebody. It could even be a lover. It could be a friend, a family member, roommate. It could be, yeah, someone you live with, like a living situation, your roommate, if you lived in the same place for a really long time. So yeah, there's different situations. For others of you, married couples, this is like the need to get the law involved, or to get an attorney. And then for others of you that aren't being treated the way that you deserve to be treated, this is you reclaiming your power and, you know, standing up for yourself and claiming what you know you deserve. So take that as it resonates. But yes, different scenarios. I'm seeing a few different scenarios just depending on who's watching. Okay, with the Sun card and the Ten of Cups, basically this is just reinforcing that Ace of Cups, showing you that joy and love and happiness is available to you. With this Ace of Cups card, it's reaffirming that. So for some of you all, you know, let's say if you've been in a marriage for a long time and it's just like really, you're worried that you guys are growing apart. For some of you all, you may have to fight a little bit. And you may have to stand up for yourself to get the recognition that you deserve, you know, and the situation can be saved for some people. For other people, it's gotten to the point where it's just so toxic that you need to get possibly even an attorney involved, and get assistance in that way. And through doing that, that's when you're going to stand up and, you know, and finally reclaim your power and basically start to live life for yourself, is what I'm getting. Live life, you know, live for yourself. And then by being able to do that, you will finally experience, you know, some joy and some love and, yeah, just an abundance of happy emotions. Yes. And then for others, you know, if this is somebody that you've been dating for a while and you're not sure if it's really gonna pan out or whatever, like for some of you all, you do need to, you know, stand up for yourselves and say, you know, like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I deserve. This is what I'm looking for in a person, in a relationship, whatever, you know. You want to be monogamous, they don't, you know, whatever, or you just, or maybe you've just never discussed it, and so you do need to, with the Justice card and standing up for yourself and just basically explaining what you want and what's fair to you, and ways in which you deserve to be treated, you know, that you feel you deserve to be treated, and through that you will receive the Ten of Cups. Okay, and then of course, yeah, for some of you, that is going to bring you standing up for yourself and saying, this is what I want in life. This is what my expectations, whatever the case may be. You know, that person's going to say, wow, you know, I didn't know. In some cases, they'll say, wow, I didn't know you felt that way. You know, I didn't realize, you know, and in some cases, they're going to say, hey, I don't want to put a label on it. You know, either way, what your spirit guides want you to know, either way, by standing up for yourself and reclaiming your power and receiving justice in this situation, it is going to put you on a path to your Ten of Cups and the Sun card and the Ace of Cups. So that is what your guides want you to know right now. For some of you, as I mentioned, the vulnerable, for people that are having to fight for somebody in their life who is vulnerable, it could be like an elderly person or a relative who has a mental illness, a child who's gotten into trouble. You know, they did show that you do need to fight a little bit harder for this person. But that will, you know, by doing that, that will lead towards this joy, happiness, Ten of Cups, Ace of Cups. So I hope you all found this reading helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If this pile did not resonate you, stay tuned for pile 3. Okay, let's go on. Pile 3 was the double terminated Smokey Quartz. All right, so you got the 6 of Swords, the 7 of Wands in reverse, and the 4 of Cups. Okay. All right, let's shuffle the deck to this energy here. Pile 3. What do the spirit guides and divine guardian angels need? Group, what do they want them to know right now? What does group 3 need to know? What does group 3 need to know right now? Group 3, pile 3. Okay. All right, so what I'm seeing here, for many of you, you may have been forced to move. For many of you, you may have been forced to move. For some of you, it's going to be like an eviction notice. For some of you, it's going to be like, you know, you've been renting this house for 20 years and then all of a sudden the lady who owned it died and she left it to her grandson, and you know, and he's going to move into it now, you know, like that type of thing, where you're having like just something happened and now the property you're living is no longer available for you to live in. So for some of you, it's going to be that type of a situation where you're forced to move because of that. It could even be like where the house has just become so old and that it's not, you know, that it needs a lot of work and you don't really have the means to be able to fix it up. And so you just want to sell it, you know, maybe sell it to somebody who can flip it. And it's just gotten, yeah, it's gotten to a point where, you know, it's not like a good living situation because the house is old, or also could be because I am seeing like where it's just like the roof is just caving in, or like there's serious damage to the house where you can't live in it anymore. So it could also be like with the storm clouds here. It could be, you know, you had to move because of a storm, or some sort of a natural disaster that forced you to move from your house. For some of you, it could be that you just have to move for work, or your family's moving. And so you're moving too because either you still live with them or you just want to stay close to them. So it's going to be different for different people, but at any rate, some of you, if you pick this pile, you had to move and it's against your will. So, and in some cases too, like you've had to move on from a certain situation and it's not, and it's against your will. It's like you had hoped things would turn out differently. Like, you know, you had to move, even if it's a house, you know, you had such high hopes for this house that you live in, and it just, you know, the neighborhood is not working out, or just the house itself, it just needs too much work. You know, it could be that type of situation. Or yeah, neighborhoods and towns, like not really liking the town you live in and having to move just to, you know, relocate to a place where you feel more comfortable, things like that. So where you really don't want to have to move, but for some reason you've got to move, right? And so the 7 of Wands in reverse here, this can represent, for many of you, you have just a deep feeling of hopelessness. Like I'm hearing choose your battles for starters, the need to choose your battles in this situation. For many of you, you may need to choose your battles. Okay. Like, if you're having to move for work, or because, you know, you may want to check out pile 1 if you're having to move, like if your spouse is moving for work or something like that, or your family's moving and you don't really want to go, check out pile 1. But picking your battles in this case is definitely what you're being encouraged to do. But for some of you, you could just feel like hopeless, helpless, defenseless, kind of like where you have no control over what's happening. And it can cause you to feel like your world's just crumbling around you. Okay, you can feel very defeated. That's the word I'm looking for, where you just feel very defeated, you know, with the situation. And then the Four of Cups here, and it's, you know, this situation, it could leave you feeling very depressed if you're having to leave your friends, even coworkers. You know, if you have a job you really like with coworkers that you really get along with, having to leave your coworkers, it could leave you feeling sad, depressed, disappointed, lack of motivation as well. Just lack of motivation. You know, because sometimes depression, if you're really feeling depressed, it can just make you feel like you don't even want to get out of bed, like you can't get up and do things, you don't have the motivation to get things done, lack of energy. So yes, that's what we're seeing here with this, basically. Okay, Spirit guides. What does group 3, pile 3 need to know right now? Divine spirit guides and guardian angels of group 3, pile 3. What do they need to know about this situation? Does group 3, pile 3 need to know about this situation? Okay. 10 of Cups came out. 3 more cards, please. Group 3, pile 3. What do they need to know right now? Clarifier card for the 6 of Wands, or 6 of Swords, 7 of Wands in reverse, and 4 of Cups. King of Swords. 2 more cards, please. The World. 1 more card. 1 more card. 9 of Wands. Okay. All right, so the 4 of Cups, the 10 of Cups came out. So for many of you, you recognize and you realize that you have to move right now, but you are moving and you're going to be with the ones you love, right? You're going to be moving with your family, and you guys are going to be fine. For many of you, you're moving, you know, because the location, like the town or the city that you're living in, you know, for whatever reason, like it could be the commute to work, or the neighborhood you're living in, or just whatever the case may be where you have to move. You know that making the decision to move, or like go ahead and just moving and not resisting, is going to lead you to a 10 of Cups situation. Like, you know, you're going to have your people around you. You know, you're going to feel emotionally fulfilled. You know, it's going to be better for you, even though you're feeling very depressed, sad about moving, like you have no control over the situation, and you're definitely not motivated to pack or anything. So that's what I'm seeing with that. Let's see here. Oh, for many of you, the situation is going to turn out better than you're expecting. Okay, your spirit guides want you to know, like, the energy that you're currently sitting in with the 4 of Cups, you are just like, oh my God, this is the worst. You know, I can't believe this is happening to me. And you feel just like hopeless and helpless and all that stuff. But it's like, actually doing this is going to work out better than you even expected. And it's going to lead to a much happier and easier, better lifestyle. For some of you, it's going to be cheaper to live where you're going to be moving. And it could be that, you know, like the city you're living in just got too expensive. You really love living there, but you don't want to move, but you just, you know, can't afford it anymore. Or, you know, you're just kind of isolated where you're living. And so, you know, you're going to be moving back close to family, and it's going to turn out even better than you expected. And it's going to lead to a lot of emotional fulfillment. So that's what I'm seeing there with that 10 of Cups card. Okay, with this King of Swords here. So for some of you, this is going to be a person that you have to deal with that you see as being very difficult. And I'm hearing crass, cruel. Like I'm seeing one situation and where the excuse me, the way I'm talking about excuse me, but basically the situation, if somebody's in a situation where they've been living in one place for a really long time and something happened where they have to move because it's changing ownership, or you know the owners have some different plans with the property or something like that, you're dealing with this person and they're just like a major pain in the ass. They're contributing to the problem. They're making the situation worse for you. That's how it feels anyway. You know, that's how it feels. It feels like this person's just being difficult. They're just being mean. They're just being harsh. They're not being, you know, they're just thinking about themselves, and they're being rational. They're not thinking about, you know, your feelings or how it's affecting you. You know, like for some of you, I mean, I did get that for some of you, you've been living in this one place for a really long time. And it's like whoever owned the property before, you had a really good understanding. You got along really well. It was just a great location. The rent money was perfect, you know, whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden, this other person comes in, and now, you know, they have zero concept of the type of a relationship that you had with the previous owner of the property. Okay, so that person is just feeling, you know, making you feel even worse about the situation. And so Spirit is wanting you to, they're just acknowledging that, you know, they're acknowledging that. And, but then of course, you know, keep in mind your 10 of Cups came in here. So, for many of you, the situation is going to turn out better than you even expected. So keep that in mind. For some of you, you might be able to negotiate with this person. That will help make things easier, alleviate some of the stress. Just with the swords, you know, being a King of Swords, this person is very rational and intellectual and intelligent. And even though they may seem unfeeling, they are not without reason. So they do understand life and how things can be sometimes. So you may be able to reason with this person and work out some sort of an agreement. For some of you, if you're moving for work, this person could be your supervisor or a boss. And they're putting you where they need you. Okay. You may not want to go, but they're putting you where they need you. And again, the situation will turn out better than you expected. You're going to make friends. Your family is going to be happier. For some of you, this person could be your partner that's having to move, or that wants to move, or that's making the decision to move. For some people, it could be you, that you're in this King of Swords energy and you're making the decision like, okay, we got to get out of here. And the people around you are the ones who are feeling, you know, super depressed about leaving and not wanting to go. And you're the one who's kind of having to be the bad guy in this situation, and unfeeling and just like in your head, like rational. So yeah, take it as it resonates, you know, depending on what your situation is. All right, so we got the World card here though. However, the World card, this is like this move, this situation, it's the end of a major cycle. And because of this situation, it may not seem like it right now. You may seem really sad, upset, disappointed, helpless, hopeless, but it's going to actually put you in, like I said, this 10 of Cups card came out, and you're just going to be in a whole new place, like a whole new, this card represents completion and embodiment and actually achieving something really big, a major achievement for some of you. Like for some of you all, it could be that this situation is forcing you to buy your own home. Like you've been renting from this person for years and years, and now the property has a new owner, or now they want you to move out so they can remodel it, or they want you to move out so they can move into it. They is putting you in a situation where you're going to be able to buy your own house now. You're going to be a homeowner, and you're just going to feel so good about yourself. You're going to feel, and it's like something that you've always wanted for yourself, but you never thought that you could achieve. This card is indicating that you will be able to achieve that, something that you never dreamed that you could. For other people, if you're having to move because the rent is too high, or the houses, you can't afford, you've been trying to find a place to live and you can't afford to live there because everything's gotten so expensive, and you're moving to a new town or a new city, you are going to be moving into a situation where you're like, oh my God, are you serious? We get this 5-bedroom house, for this much money? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Like all my kids have their own bedroom, that type of situation. Or, for some of you, it's going to be where you're upset about moving, but it's going to give you like a whole new lifestyle that you never thought you could have before, where you can afford to travel and you can afford to like take, family vacations and things like that. It's just going to put you in a whole new level. And not only that, it's going to bring in a whole bunch of new experiences. You're going to be entering a new phase of your life. And this is like going to be, another, the starting of like another 20-year cycle or something like that, where, for the next 20 years, you're going to be living in this new place. And so, yes, for some of you, it's going to be like that, where you're going to be, this new cycle is going to put you into a location or a place where you're going to stay for a very long time. And so, okay. And then we got the 9 of Wands. And so this card represents you. For many of you, it represents summoning up the energy and the motivation to do what you have to do in order to move, in order to get things done is what I'm hearing. For some of you all, you're going to have to get things done. In anticipation of the move. For some of you guys, you're going to have to put on a brave face, and you're going to have to show the people around you that you can handle this pressure. For those of you who were involved in some sort of a natural disaster, or like a flood, or where there was some sort of like catastrophic damage to your home, this is you handling things on your own, taking care of business, and just standing up. And even though you're going through all these difficulties, people are going to be like, wow, it's pretty amazing that they were able to get all that accomplished in such a short period of time. And like, it's definitely an energy of being recognized for things that you're doing, for your, and it can also represent creativity, like creative motion, taking action on your own in a way. Because 9 is a number of independence. 9 is also a number of endings, and handling things very well. Basically, it's like handling this ending very well, and people recognizing, wow, they're actually taking this really well. And not making a mountain out of a molehill, because like it's like somebody in somebody's guide was saying that they were making mountains out of molehills. And so basically it's recognizing that it's not that bad, that this actually could be a good situation. It could be better than you ever thought it could be. It could be better than you had hoped. So that's what I'm getting here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card readings and other types of readings. And if you're interested in booking a private reading with me, you can find a link in the description to do that. And I will never reach out for you to offer you a reading or to try to get you to book a reading. Okay, please be careful of scammers. All right, let's go on to pile 4. Next time, you guys, I will edit this better. This is just something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and so I'm still getting the hang of things. All right. Pile 4. You got the unknown. You got the 6 of Cups. And you got the Protector. Okay, so the Protector in this Oracle deck represents, let's see, what does it represent? Perceptive, protective, and flowing creativity. All right, and let me just shuffle this to the energy of pile 4. Pile 4, group 4, spirit guides and divine guardian angels. What would you like for them to know at this time regarding the situation that they find themselves in? Pile 4, group 4. What do they need to know? Okay, pile 4, group 4. What do they need to know right now? Okay. And the unknown, let me look that one up too. Reflection, awakening, and reckoning. So some of you all are going through an awakening right now with this Protector card and the unknown coming out. Something in your life has triggered you to have a whole new perspective and understanding on a situation in your life. And for many of you, this could be somebody that you know from the past with the 6 of Cups card. It could be a friend from childhood, or even, you know, siblings. It could also be like themes from childhood, not just people, but like themes, repeating themes, or just like, you know, situations and childhood memories. For some of you, it could be like a past life, the concept of past lives. You know, wanting, for some of you with the past life situation, you know, having an awareness that, you know, that people believe in reincarnation and that you could have been somebody else in a past life. And maybe even, you know, some of those things are surfacing or resurfacing in this lifetime. And the 6 of Cups would also represent that, like those things resurfacing in this lifetime. Or for some of you, it's going to be past relationships, friendships, love relationships. For many of you, it's going to be breaking cycles. For example, for some of you, it's going to be putting an end to things with the Protector card and the Six of Cups. You know, it's like protecting your children so they don't have to go through things that you went through. Or, you know, protecting the people that you love, protecting yourself also. You know, it could also represent protecting yourself and being your own protector, and so that you don't have to go through the things that you went through in the past, even in childhood, or just in your youth, or in previous relationships even. And there was another scenario that I saw. What was it? All right. If there's more, I'll remember. All right. Clarifier cards. Group 4, pile 4. What spirit guides and divine guardian angels, what do they need to know right now about the situation that they find themselves in? What does group 4 need to know? Okay, so we got the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil. 2 more cards, please. Knight of Cups in reverse. 1 more card. What do they need to know right now about the situation they find themselves in? Group 4, pile 4. 1 more card. Okay. The Hangman. 6 of Swords, bottom of the deck. Okay. Y'all check out pile 3. Potentially could be relevant to you. All right. For some of you, the Protector, the Unknown, and the Six of Cups can represent breaking cycles, breaking ancestral cycles, breaking cycles of neglect, abuse. It can represent breaking cycles of poverty. Lack of trust. Spirit is saying lack of trust. It could represent breaking cycles of lack of trust, where, you know, you grew up in a situation where people failed you, and so as a result, you've lost trust in people, and you have some people in your life, you know, that you really care for, but you don't trust them. It's really hard to trust them. So it could be, there's many different, for many of you, you know, it's going to be different for everybody, whatever the cycle is that you're trying to break, or that you're having the realization that this is a cycle in my life. You know, it could be, just like your own cycle of poverty or lack, you know, feeling like you just don't have enough, and you're kind of on that hamster wheel, just like working paycheck to paycheck and things like that. And so, you know, breaking those cycles. The Wheel of Fortune does represent good fortune, luck. It can also represent bad luck. It did not come out in the reverse, though. It did come out upright. So I'm going to take this as good luck, good fortune. And so just by having this realization is putting you in a trajectory of a lot of more positive energy, and opening you up to a path of like more fortune and abundance, and an easier path, you know, more luck, less obstacles, less blockages. Bad luck, you know, like obstacles and blockages can also, many people are like, oh, I've had bad luck, you know. And so yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. So having this recognition and this realization, you know, is putting you in a much more fortunate place in life. or it has the potential to, if if you're able to successfully recognize what it is that needs to be done. It could be like unhealthy thought patterns. Um, it could be unhealthy habits, just whatever it is, whatever cycles that you realize that you're repeating, whether it's your own personal things that you keep doing that aren't really good for you, or just like cycles, like ancestral cycles, karmic cycles, past life type stuff, or just like being on the hamster wheel of life, basically. All right, so we got the Devil card here, Capricorn energy. And so this card for some people represents the shadow self, or the negative aspects of the self, and the bad decisions that we can make as a result of those negative aspects and those negative parts of ourselves, where we put ourselves in bad situations. With that wheel of fortune, bad decisions, put us in bad luck. Good decisions bring good luck. And so, this Devil card, for many of you, it's going to represent like addictions. It could also represent a person, like if it's a really toxic person in your life, it's breaking the cycle of engaging with that person, not allowing that person to come back into your life, recognizing that person's not healthy for you, that person's not safe. With the Protector card, that person doesn't protect you, and that you're not safe with that person, and that you need to be your own protector. For some of you, this is going to be like a boogeyman. And when I say boogeyman, it's going to be like a spiritual type, a fear of the unknown, but like on the spiritual level, the negative aspects of the unknown on the spiritual level. So for some of you, a lot of people are resistant to diving into spiritual concepts or things like that, because they're afraid of what it's going to open up. They're afraid of what doors they're going to open. They're afraid of what they're going to bring into their life as a result of investigating such matters, right? Like there's a lot of people who don't like to use tarot cards because they think it leads to like demons, portals, that type of thing, portals to hell and stuff like that. So this is a fear based on, for a lot of you, it's going to be a fear based on what other people have told you, or a fear based on conditioning, the way you've been conditioned, the way, that you were raised, the things that people used to say when you were growing up about certain things, like, spiritual stuff. For some of you, this is the negative cycle from childhood, like ancestral patterns. For some of you all, that negative ancestral pattern could be a religion, like a church type atmosphere, and you recognizing, that you don't want to continue to go to that church, but as a result, you feel like the devil's going to get you, because that is how ingrained that fear is in you. You're like, it's gotten to the point where for some of you, this ancestral cycle is a church, or a religious belief, and you have a fear. This boogeyman that is surfacing is, like, you want to leave the church. You don't want to go to this church anymore. You're having realizations. You're having an awakening. You've had epiphanies about things, and as a result, you don't really want to go to this church anymore. But you have a fear of this boogeyman or devil or demons or things like that. because of, like I said, it's so ingrained in you, like you have to go to church because, you know, you have to, that's what you do, that type of thing. So for some of you, it's going to be that type of situation. For some of you, it's like devil's coming back to haunt you. You feel like from a past life or from things that you have done when you were a different person. You know, with this Wheel of Fortune card and the Six of Cups card coming out, like some of you all are recognizing that, you know, and here's the Six of Cups here, but some of you all are recognizing that, you know, you used to be a different person when you were younger. Like let's say your teens, your 20s, you know, you were a different person, you were into different things, and you know, you made some bad decisions, as we talked about with the Wheel of Fortune card, and it's like now those things are coming back to haunt you. But you are having a realization and an awareness, a new level of awareness about living your life and the way that you want to live your life and the cycles that you want to break. You're like, I don't want to keep repeating those bad habits. I don't want to keep hanging out with those people, you know, and things like that. Like, yeah, you're just realizing, you're having a whole realization. And but there is definitely an energy of the past coming back to haunt you for many of you. Okay. And like I said, for some of you guys with the Six of Cups and the Devil card, it could be a toxic partner trying to come back into your life or trying to repair a relationship with you. And you just had a realization. You're like, no, I'm not going to keep repeating those same cycles. All right. And that's where, okay, the Knight of Cups in reverse comes in. For some of you, that's what this card is. This person is, for some of you, the Six of Cups with the Knight of Cups in the reverse, you're finally recognizing that this person's offer is not sincere or genuine. And where in the past you would have, you know, you would have accepted their offer and you would have hoped that they would change or, you know, or do things differently in your connection. But now you're finally having a realization that it's just an empty promise. You know, they're making you an offer. It's like they're bringing you a present, but the box is empty. It's like, and you recognize that, you know, you're not going to accept the gift without opening it, kind of thing. For some of you all, if it's the church, if it's church people, you are recognizing that these people, you know, they're coming to you to try to connect with you, but you're recognizing that it's only because you haven't been going to church. And, you know, it's like they're pretending to be your friend, but they don't want to lose the church members. You know what I'm saying? For some of you, it's that type of a situation. For others of you, it's a romantic partner. For others of you, it's a friendship. Yeah, for others of you, it's a friendship or even a family member. For other people, it's going to be like a past life. You know, you may feel as though you have entered into a past life love relationship, like a connection from a past life. And you're questioning, you know, this whole concept of even having a past life is something that you've really started to explore. And, you know, just try to broaden your horizons about that concept. And, you know, you're questioning whether or not this person is a good person for you to continue to have a relationship with. Because you're questioning, you know, you feel like, you know, you just feel like you've known this person from before and you've never met them before. So it must be from a past life. For many of you, it's going to feel like that. And you're in a situation that's like that. And so you're questioning, you know, whether or not this person is like a genuine friend or a genuine lover, somebody that you can trust. because as Spirit said, one of your guides mentioned lack of trust, or, breaking that cycle of distrust. And so for many of you, it's going to be like that. Like, can I trust this person? Is this person trustworthy? They want to be my friend. They want to get to know me. They want to hang out. They want to, they're taking me to dinner. Are they a good person? Okay. All right. And then you got the Hanged Man card here. So this card represents the need to look at things from a new perspective. So as I mentioned, for some of you all, this could be a toxic love relationship or a toxic friendship. And this offer, Knight of Cups in reverse, for some of you, it's going to be the person is trying to get back on your good side, but really what they end up doing is manipulating you and making you feel guilty. Okay. And so you, because of the type of person that you are, you would have fallen for that type of thing in the past. You would have allowed that person to talk you into, you would have opened yourself up to that person again. But for many of you, this card is asking you to look at something from the outside, like from a completely different perspective. Like, you need to look at this from the perspective of, your mother, for example. For some reason, they're showing me, like, let's say if it's a love relationship, it's like you and an ex or a person that you're in a relationship with, and you want to end the relationship, and they're trying to get back in your good graces. They want to stay together, and this person is toxic or they're bad for you in some way, and you've fallen for this type of thing before. You may need to look, and I feel bad saying it like that, like you've fallen for this before. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself for willing to open yourself up to somebody and giving them the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes we just didn't know any better. Sometimes, we're sensitive, we're empaths, and we just like feel bad, we feel guilty, and so, but they're asking you to look at this from the perspective, for some of you, it's going to look at it from the perspective of your mother, your child, to look at it from a perspective of just somebody other than yourself. Like, what would you do if your friend came to you and was in this situation? What advice would you give them? That's what I'm getting with this Hanged Man card here, is that, you need to look at this from a perspective outside of yourself, is what they really want you to do. Because then you will see very clearly that this person is just the Knight of Cups in the reverse, that they're insincere, that their offer is not genuine, it's not real, it's not, and so for some of you, like I mentioned, if you're involved in a religious group and you're wanting to not go to those services anymore, not go to that church anymore, not hang out with those spirits, all not hang out with those Bible thumpers anymore. You may, in order to be able to do this, you may need to look at this whole perspective from somebody else's point of view. And in order to be able to, it feels like gaining the strength to say no for many of you. It's like gaining the strength to not accept this offer that is being given to you. So yes, I hope this makes sense. I hope you found this reading helpful, and please like this video. Please comment, share, and subscribe. And I thank you so much for watching my channel. And if this pile didn't resonate you, please be sure to check out the other piles, or possibly even, it definitely seemed like in this situation that some of these piles, I saw overlapping situations, you guys. So yeah, check out some of the other piles too if you feel called. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.